10 years ago, the board appointed James Mworia as the CEO of the Centum Group, and he was only 30 years old then. Since then, the company's assets under management have grown by more than 10 times fold. And during the same period, Dr. Chris Kirubi, our guest today, he increased his stake to 30%, and thereby becoming the single largest shareholder of the company. And it's been a remarkable decade, Dr. Kirubi. And my observation sort of reminds me of a quote that I read in the book that was written by Charles Robertson, the book titled The Fastest Billion. And this is what the quote reads: Africa will be the most exciting and rewarding continent for the next 30 years. So welcome for this conversation as we find out how Dr. Kirubi started investing in Centum and how they have steered that company to greater heights over the last 10 years. My name is Pius Mugo, the Managing Director of Nabo Capital, and you're watching Invest in Africa. So, Dr. Kirubi, the story of Centum and you can never be separated. How did you identify the Centum opportunity, and when did you start investing, and what did you see?
As I said, I started investing in Centum in late 70s, I think, or early 70s, simply because I noted a sleeping giant, something that could have been doing better because people are not focused on it. It did not excite many people because it's a company that was managed by a government official. It was run from a government office. And I realized if we can only take it from government and take it to the private sector management, that business could do very well.
Yes.
By then we had shares in Coca-Cola, we had shares in General Motors.
Yes.
Some of the premium brands that existed then.
Yes.
And I made sure that to have a voice, to change, I have to invest. So I invested, and when I had substantial shareholding,
yes,
I went to the government and I said, this company has now grown up. It should be allowed to own its own offices and have its own management. And that is a story when we started hiring staff to run the business.
Yes.
And somewhere on the way, we managed to get James Mworia into the company. He came to the company, and then he left after a while. Somebody else poached him. But fun enough, James came back.
Yes.
And when he came back, he found me there, and I felt some attraction to that young man.
Yes.
He looked to be very sincere. He looked to know what he's talking about.
Yes.
And I was then the chairman of the company. And I decided I'm going to work with this young man. And so I acquired James Mworia, to say the least.
Yes.
And James, I like to thank him because he never let my dream down.
Yes.
I realized he will succeed as I succeed, as company succeeds.
Yes.
And that has been a journey of three of us.
Yes.
The company, James Mworia, and myself.
And yourself.
So we have walked together. I've continued. I was chairman for more than 10 years.
Yes.
Then I got tired of only talking to the shareholders once a year.
Yes.
And I decided I will become the chairman of investment.
Yes.
And there I'm involved on monthly, weekly basis, which direction we are moving on.
Yes.
And James and I saw many things in the same light. James and I have never differed. When I saw something I wanted us to invest in, James saw it even before I saw it. And to be honest, there is time that we spoke at midnight, and they said, we need to invest in this company. Midnight.
Yes.
And he wakes me up. And I say, okay, is that James? Yes. You want us to invest in this? Yes. Give me 5 minutes to think. And in 5 minutes, I say, yes, let's go.
Yes.
This is how we invested in two of our greatest investments
Yes.
in business.
Yes.
So there's nothing like a great mind thinking alike.
Yes.
Yes, and James and I have always had a mind of the same thinking.
Yeah.
And I happen to have been very fortunate to know James's families.
Yes.
And his late father is a great man. His mother is a dear lady, and she invites me home, and I look forward to going and visit Nanyuki and visit them.
Yes.
So it's been a very major involvement.
Yeah. So, Dr. Ari, let's go back to the decision of James Mworia. He was only 30 years old. He had left the company. You have an eye for sporting talent. What was that one thing that really moved you to have so much faith in a young man? In fact, I remember the newspapers were calling him the youngest CEO among the listed companies. And yet you put your faith in this young man and mobilize the entire board to support you.
I don't think there is a crime being young. I think if you are young and you have mind of a lion and you have mind of a successful, great CEO, it should not be punish you. It should not be taken as a crime.
Yes.
And James, I identified him long time that he will be a success to us.
Yes.
James has been offered many jobs in big money, and he's not interested. He just says, I like to work with Chris Kirubi.
Yes.
So there is something, there is affinity between us together. And I did not make a mistake, and I don't think he made a mistake either. And neither the company made a mistake. So all three of us have managed to succeed. That's why the company has grown multiple times, and many people do not understand what Centum is all about. They need to come into Centum, invest in Centum. And we make billions now. To be honest, let me tell you, we have to sit back and watch our billions do the job for us. That is the direction we are moving in. And I believe that if you are an investor and you have patience and you like to invest in a company that has great mind, well, you won't go very far. Centum is the destination. It's really the destination. So I believe you have invested in Centum as well, and all our staff, I keep on telling them, please don't become a slave. Work for me. Work for yourself. Invest in your company, because then it is your business. You know, so you don't wait for the old people to invest in Centum. The young people need to invest in Centum today.
So, Dr. Kirubi, the last 10 years have been the most remarkable in the entire history of Centum, and you have been the chairman of the investment committee. What are the 1, 2, 3 deals that really stood out for you that made the big difference for Centum and all its shareholders?
I don't think the greatest deal that I can talk about have happened. They are waiting to happen. But we have invested in various companies. Gen Africa. We invested there, and within a year we doubled our money. We have invested, when James woke me up at midnight, invested in 10,000 acres of land. We are building properties. Maybe in the next 30 years, we'll continue to build assets over there.
That's Vipingo.
Yes, we have invested in Coca-Cola businesses. We have invested in
Is the
we
Two Rivers one of them?
continue to invest in Two Rivers. Two Rivers was my project. I stayed there. I was there day and night, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
I gave up my golf just to spend my weekend on this project.
Yes.
I think in my life I should have become an architect because I love working with architects and making them see what they don't see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Dr. Kirubi, besides you, there are 39 other shareholders out there who have had the faith of standing with the company for so many years, over 50 years. What would be your message to them as someone who knows the company inside out?
I would like to wish there was others who invested with me, along with me in Centum. Merry Christmas and prosperous New Year. And to continue to tell them, please, I'm back to life, I'm busy again, and they should not lose faith in Centum. Centum is kicking and doing as well, if not better, and to wait for great things to come. And just don't sell your shares, old man. You kept your shares. Please use them to leverage some money if you need money, but keep your shares. And Pius, there is one time I suggested we spend 5 years of dry return, not giving anybody any dividend, but to use the money to continue to invest, to reinvest, simply because I saw we were raising funds and I didn't see the reason to raise funds by going to banks, and we are also taking money and giving it back to the people. Why don't I keep that money, invest it in better things for them, and make them richer? So for me, those people who have had faith and have kept their money with us, we have just continued to make them wealthy. And I look forward to really making more Kenyans wealthier, because I have the talent of seeing what some people don't see.
Yes.
And therefore I expect them to listen to what I say and to follow me. I have 1.5 million people, young people who follow me today. And I'm sure they are not disappointed with my message to them. And those who are smarter continue to invest with me.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kirubi. If I have gotten anything, is that the last 10 years have been extremely remarkable and exciting, but the best is yet to come. So stay invested in Centum. My name is Pius Mugo, the Managing Director of Nabo Capital, and you're watching Invest in Africa.